Hey guys, welcome back to Frenemies. I'm Ian, and we are here for the season finale, the premature season finale for Supergirl. And also I was told that apparently they were only going to do 20 episodes apparently this season. And so they filmed some of that and were able to put it into this episode a little bit, whatever bit they filmed. So it's gonna be interesting to see where they end. I'm assuming it's gonna be kind of like the Flash, where Lex or maybe Leviathan. Well, chances are Lex will win over Leviathan. Who knows? Or he'll join them in the finale and then beat them whenever they come back or something. I don't know. But it also at least ended with Lena, coming to terms with what she was actually doing, and that it wasn't going to work. That people need to. They're imperfect. They're evolving to better themselves and also to protect themselves and all that. So what she was doing wasn't going to really work, and it wasn't for the best either, because it kind of put them in danger and it would hurt them. And Lex lost it. But Lena came to Kara, told her what happened. Well, told her that she was sorry and that she wanted to help now. And Kara allowed her to sit and they were going to talk. So she's welcoming the help, but they haven't repaired anything quite yet. They're more just kind of slowly making their way there, because obviously it's not going to be an instant fix, but it might not be fixed by the end of this episode either. It'll probably take some time over next season as well. We also have the issue with Brainy. He's definitely having he's been struggling the whole time that he after a crisis working with Lex, and like whether to whether continue helping Lex or let his friends know and help them more instead, because he's been having to kind of cut them off at points so that they're knowing and they don't know that he's working with Lex, and that came to kind of a point with Nia. Especially because it definitely affected Kara and them as well, but Nia kind of is sort of, at least at this point, cut ties with him. I don't know what's going to happen if they find out by this episode. If he'll be able to stay. Maybe not. They probably won't trust him for a while, but maybe they won't completely push him out once he tells them what's going on. And that he, same as Lena, was trying to stop Leviathan by working with Lex, and that he's realized that even though his other sides told him that, the other versions of himself told him that this was the best outcome that they could have against Leviathan, because fighting Lex wound up resulting in their destruction or something like that. It was again, working with Lex was the best outcome out of all this. But yeah, because of what happened last episode, Leviathan has a whole bunch of kryptonite, so we'll see the chaos that brings.
One small step for man.
Lex Luthor, fabled man of tomorrow. At least you have the decency to bow before the gods.
I told you to disable the shields.
As long as he knows where we live, it stays on at all times.
On whose orders?
Whose do you think?
Oh, bugger all. That's a cool shot, though. Can we just...
No way. Absolutely not. I can tell those pants will chafe.
I was right.
I quite like it.
This is just like the beginning of Deathly Hallows. Moody and Hedwig died.
You lost comrades in battle? My condolences.
No, Tara, it's...
Did you get it in control? Oh!
Jean made it for me.
Dude! Heck yeah!
She looks great!
Give it to me.
Not yet.
We've come all this way.
We've done all those terrible things so that I could sneak aboard the Leviathan ship and upload the mortality code so that I could kill the Immortals.
And we shall. But first, Ramakan and his element-bending goons need to eliminate Supergirl's friends one by one.
Ooh! Was that Alex?
There's more than one of us, too. Kara, we got her.
Dreamer, what happened?
John, no! It's not just Ramakan out there. There's 3 of them, each with a different element bending power.
I think she needs a mask.
But if you enter the ship without Lex's anti-radiation pin, you'll die.
No. No.
This planet, my friends, it's worth it. I don't want to die alone.
This is about John and Alex and all the other people that could have been killed today because they're on my team. Don't you understand that?
No, I do. Of course I do.
No, you don't. You have never understood what it means to share a secret identity with someone, how much danger that puts them in. You never even understood that I kept my identity from you because I wanted to protect you. I made one mistake. One mistake that was only ever meant to protect you, and in return, all you did was hurt me in every way imaginable.
I'm sorry.
I know you are.
If the truth comes to light, my mother is dead.
Eve, please.
I really am so sorry.
It's gonna hurt, buddy.
Okay. The bullet went through and through, but we still need to get you to a hospital.
No, he's losing too much blood. There's no time.
Sorry,
You
bud.
cauterize it, but it's gonna hurt.
Do it.
All right. Too late, too late.
Don't do it.
Yes, I just had.
You're all here.
Get William and Eve out of here. I'll deal with this.
Are you mad? They've got kryptonite.
Well, then you better get that suit here fast.
It's already on its way. And I'll call her back
Are
up.
we Iron Manning it over? I don't think the gods are here. Hey, how's it going, fellas?
Call for backup?
Hey. Oh God. Okay.
There's...
Oh.
That arrogant Martian thinks he can speak to me like that. I'm a
Holy.
After we're done with this world, I'll turn to Mars next.
Place your hand on the central terminal. You'll be able to upload the shrink code.
No wonder so many people signed up.
Holy cow.
Ramakan, Tezumak, and Sela might be able to make it back in time.
They need to take out Supergirl's friends.
Then what do you propose?
Send another assassin. Someone who won't fail you.
Oh. Oh.
We are nearing 2 billion cycles.
The power of shadows. I need you to use that power to kill Supergirl.
What?
No, I can't. Yes, you can.
It's your father.
And when you do, your father will be crushed. And we both know he won't be able to survive.
Man, you're tiny, where she's tall. For both. Jesus. Or heels.
If you and I fight out to the side, we can draw their fire!
Well, you two attack from the middle. Sound good?
Why don't y'all face? I mean, come on.
Nope. Me neither. Let's go.
They can't hit you, you guys can face. John, for the love of God, they can face to the ground.
Andrea. The medallion. You've been activated. If I don't kill Supergirl, they'll kill my father.
I know. It can be addictive to
Don't
live in
stab
a
me,
perfect place where nothing hurts. But that's not reality. We need to end the simulation once and for all. I believe in you.
I believe in you. I believe in you. It's okay. It's okay.
End simulation.
Oh boy. Oh, that's so cool.
I've been you.
What's happening?
The cold one.
Will you stay with me?
Very end.
Well, Supergirl lives, but I have the bottle. No. You gave me exactly what I needed.
I knew it. God.
I'm just gonna kill Supergirl myself.
I should have listened to you. It's Brainy. He stopped Leviathan.
Hurry
He
up.
saved us.
Martians, help her. Fly her
It's my
there.
help. I can't believe it.
I wasn't ready to accept your apology. But maybe I am now.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Let's get to work, Doc.
Right away, dear.
God. Sadly, that one didn't feel like the finale necessarily. I felt like, man, because the Flash, at least, I mean, it felt like a finale. Even though we lost, it felt like a finale. The way it tied things off. With this one, I mean, it was a great episode. It's just the way that one felt. I mean, that's probably like all they had filmed. So at least like the best endpoint they could use of what they had. It's not their fault. It's just that I'm just saying out of thus far what we have as finales. I mean, I haven't seen Batwoman yet. That will be tomorrow. But thus far of the finales that got rushed, that one didn't feel necessarily closed off or tied off like the Flash was. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, though. I thought Lex was just going to come out on top completely. So next whenever they come back, technically I guess next season, they're gonna be going to stop Lex after they get to Nia's gonna have to get to Brainy. You know, they're gonna get him out. Brainy's gonna tell him what's going on. Then they'll have to rush to them. I don't know if they'll be able to get there in time before whatever he has planned. God dang it. Part of me was wondering whether he had planned for Brainy to do that. Because, I mean, seeing Brainy react the way he did whenever he told him, like, you're going to let your friends die, I'm pretty sure Lex wouldn't assume that he would just let that happen. So, I wasn't sure if his outburst was just to put on a show for that time. I don't know why he put on a show for that point. Maybe he just like was hoping to hold on to Brainy because he probably felt he was a valuable asset of sorts. I understand Lex is like insanely intelligent. I just wish, I don't know, because Brainiac 5 is a 12th level intellect, as he's said multiple times before. I feel like he should be able to calculate that. But then again, it's also the thing with Brainy. He also calculates. It's hard. I was gonna say he does more logically. Lex is also logical, but he's manipulative. So he also manipulates humanity's social. What's it? I'm trying to think of something like social behaviors. He understands people's morals, their characters. Brainy's more so like this is kind of how things go. At least he was before, like earlier on, especially. Like he's gotten a little more planning for people's characteristics and whatnot. But I mean, Lex takes that more into consideration, I guess. I don't know, because like I don't know. I guess that might be why he's able to outsmart Brainy, is because he thinks more of using another person's intellect against them. I guess. I don't. Okay, so I'm glad. I don't think they're gonna kill off Brainy. I was worried for a second when he said that, but the way they stay up, they might. Maybe Nia won't get there in time. He'll be too hurt to come back from that. I don't know. I really, really hope not, because I would really hate to lose Brainy. But I'm glad that Nia got to see everything. I think she understands like the truth, like that he had been working with Lex, and that I mean she obviously saw that he finished off the Leviathan. Well, yeah, he finished off Leviathan. He took care of them. And she saw him in the car with Lex. And I think there's other bits that she had seen, like of him talking to Lex beforehand. But I'm wondering if she understands that now. She now understands that he was working with Lex to stop Leviathan, and how much that was hurting him the whole time. I mean, she seemed she seemed to still, she obviously still cares about him. Like we knew that, but like I mean, she's not gonna let him die. But it's just like I don't know. She told Magan that you're right. We need to save him. But I don't know if that necessarily means telling Magan you're right. There was more to why he was, what these dreams mean, why he's being the way he is. Like I know obviously there's that, but I'm wondering if it's also just like you're right. He's I guess that's the only thing I could really mean, honestly. I have something, but I lost it, and maybe it just wasn't. Maybe I was just being stupid. One thing that bugged me a lot was Jean and Magan, that they weren't phasing. That they weren't becoming, what's the word I'm looking for? They weren't can't remember the word for it. I know they're phasing, but it's like another word that I want. I really phasing more like Barry, the Flash. I can't remember. It's not translucent. intangible. That's the word. That's what I meant. Or I guess ship density is also the way you. Anyway, although one of them they should have done that, because I mean the rocks would have phased through them. Jean's done it before. The wind would have gone through them. That would have been fine. I don't know about the kryptonite. The fire probably would have hurt them. Somebody mentioned that in this version it doesn't hurt them, or that it doesn't weaken them. It's not the weakness. I don't know. That's weird, but whatever. But it still could. It might have still. I don't know what the kryptonite infused powers would have done to them if it went through them. Like the rocks probably wouldn't have done anything. The air probably, because I mean, there's only so much that the kryptonite could imbue it. So much kryptonite can go into that. The rocks more so, but the wind. But like the kryptonite fire, the green fire, that could have maybe hurt them if it passed through them. But at the very least, they could have phased through the ground, gone through the ground, come up, like reach their ankles or something, and like phase them, and then bring them down to the ground. I mean, it wouldn't kill them at that point because they couldn't die at that moment at that junction. You couldn't die yet. I mean, they still couldn't. He didn't put the immortality or the mortality code. He put them in the he shrunk them basically. Leviathen was I guess not easily, because Brainy had to be in that what was it, ion something, protofocus something rather, field for 10 minutes. That was killing him. But I mean, like, took them out in an episode essentially. Like after all this work Brainy had done. Well, I mean, okay, I wouldn't say it's all for nothing, because I mean he still had to figure out where the ship was. But you know, like. Well, it would have been the same outcome essentially, because he'd have to put in the code and everything. I'm sorry, I meant like he'd still have to go in to input the mortality code. So it was about the same thing, but it's just like they were. Once you have the ship, he took them out instantly. So I mean, then we still have Lex to deal with. So he's still the big bad of the. That's like 2 seasons in a row. He's been the big. Was it right? Yeah. Yeah, basically he's been the big bad 2 seasons in a row, just like working in the background up to like the second half of the season. That's the second time that's happened. Yeah, that's the second time it's happened, because they didn't even know he was alive until Crisis, till that moment. And then last season he didn't show up until like the second half of the season as well. Dang, John Cryer really does work when he gets on the show. I'm glad Kara has her kryptonite suit though. I'm glad that Lynn was able to make it. I mean, it makes sense that it took hours to make. That kind of sucked. Like she had to stand by while her friends were putting themselves in danger. But I mean, they're heroes too. I mean, they can handle themselves. I mean, when they were all going against the 3 of them together, the 3 other members of Leviathan, when they were working together, they kind of got their butts handed to them a bit. I mean, they held their own for a while, but they would have probably gotten hit real bad at that nearing that end if Brainy hadn't, vacuumed hadn't Ghostbustered them. Or I guess technically kind of Danny. It's more close to Danny Phantom because there was the thermos. I'm wondering if Eve is going to. I'm sorry, I'm jumping around a bit, but I'm wondering if Eve is, because it looked like for a second I thought maybe she was contemplating whether to tell her about it. She probably was like worried, but now Supergirl went to go save her mom. She brought her away from whoever was surrounding whoever Lex had surrounding her Eve's mom. But like, I don't know, like risk having them find out on their own or tell them. That's a heavy thing to take in. Even with the information that Lex tricked her into thinking it was someone that worked for Leviathan, so that she would kill him and poison him. Reverse that. But I feel like she would. Now that her mom's safe, I feel like she would. She might whenever they come back. I'm hoping they understand. I mean, I'm sure they'll understand I don't know how they'll handle it though. We'll see. And it's, I mean, I'm glad that Kara and Eve and Lena are by the end of this, they're on good terms now. They're probably, I mean, it took a little less time. I mean, well, I kind of figured it was gonna reach a more, what's the word? Reach more friendly terms, I guess. I can't think of what I was trying to say, or the word I was trying to think of. But the artists, I mean, they're still gonna need time to build that to where it was before. But yeah, I mean, it makes sense, and I'm glad actually that she didn't just forgive her right off the bat. She still kind of was holding on to, what Lena had put her through. Because yeah, she finally was able to tell her, now that Lena had let go of her anger, and the bitterness she had, to at least listen to Kara and explain why she never told her secret. That she kept the secret to protect her, because those that know her secret, that put them in danger. So that's why she kept it from her for so long. And the one mistake that she made led Lena to hurt Kara in various different ways. One, manipulating her, tricking her to think that they're still friends. I don't remember the other things, but using kryptonite on her, actually using kryptonite on her. Just many, many different ways of causing her pain after the one secret she had kept that should have been an understandable secret. But it it is difficult when when you feel like you're the only one, at least in your group of friends. Everybody else knows except for you, and that kind of I can understand the kind of bitterness that would bring. And she feels like, and she's been betrayed multiple times before, so it's like she had that that God, I'm so terrible with words. She just did that betrayal from before. It kind of not necessarily pushed her to conclusions, but it's just like a familiar pain that she wouldn't have thought that Carl would have pushed onto her, would have caused her. But the fact that she had trusted her again, or trusted her to that point, even when people were betraying her, like Eve, and then she confided her into that, and it's something that's it's understandable. Jesus, I'm having issues. It's understandable why she went down the path the way she did, to a certain extent. And again, I'm not justifying necessarily what she did, because what she had done was still terrible. But it's just that harboring that that grudge and that bitterness, it's understandable why she ended up going in that direction in the first place. And to feel like they're kind of like your friends are, from her point of view, thinking that they're seeing her as a fool for not knowing and being the only one that doesn't know. And again, just that sense of betrayal that she had, kept having from everybody else she had met. I was honestly a little worried that Lena was gonna die this episode. Part of me was anyway. Part of me was, again, it's just there's certain people that I feel like that they wouldn't kill. Lena being one of them, especially since she's a lot of people's favorite character. Well, I mean, I don't know about now, I don't know about during this season, but for the majority of the time that she's been on, she's been a lot of people's favorites. So I don't see. I mean, they've done CW's done it before, but that was just an arrow, and they have killed characters that people loved a lot. I mean, it's not an unknown, uncommon thing or anything. It's just, I don't know. Lena is just one of the characters I don't see them killing off. But with the situation with Kara holding off on not wanting to accept the apology, then kind of Lena's trying to get her favor back, trying to build the friendship back up, sacrificing herself for Kara. That's a possibility. I can see that kind of making it through. But I'm glad she's able to talk Andrea out of it, talk her down. Especially for Andrea's sake as well, considering she didn't want to do this. She didn't want to kill anybody. I don't think this Andrea had, because Leviathan hadn't exactly taken her in the same way that they had in the previous version of Earth 27, something like that. I don't remember, 37. They were another. And the only reason she went through with it was partially because a big part of it, I'm assuming, was her father. Like the thing with her company and everything going down was I'm pretty sure that would devastate her. I don't know if she would have gone through with it if that was the sole reason, but the fact that it would affect her father too, and possibly cause him to die from either just that the crushing blow of the company coming crashing down to the ground, or maybe even Leviathan killing him secretly, to make it seem like that was the case. I don't know if she would have gone through with it if the company coming down was the sole reason. I feel like it might have been the father that was like the thing that really pushed her to do it. I'm hoping anyway. But Leviathan's taken care of, so she doesn't have to worry about it anymore. So that's good. I'm wondering if Kara knows about because I don't think she had mentioned it when she was talking to Lena about it. She's mentioned making the suit and going with her to. I think she mentioned that going with her to. Well, she's mentioned like watching over her while she was in there. I don't know if she knew about the Andrea thing, but I mean, I really hope she did, because she put. I would like her to know that she put herself her life on the line. Lena put her life on the line for Kara, like at knife point essentially, a really sharp rock point. Either way, yeah, I'm glad they got it back. Lex is still gonna probably have a buttload of kryptonite. I'm assuming that's what I think he's only got a bomb when he was talking to Brainy. Maybe he took the thing. I don't know what he's gonna do with he might just. I don't know. I'm not sure what he's gonna do with the Leviathan. He might make something to he's still planning to heal Kara, obviously. I'm not sure exactly what he's gonna be using other than the kryptonite. Obviously we'll see when they come back next season or whatever you want to call it. Side bits, I really liked Alex's new suit. I mean, I liked the original one. Don't get me wrong, but I kind of like the little bit of extra color on it, and I like it. I mean, I'm a sucker for hoods. They look pretty cool a lot of times. I mean, Green Arrow looked really cool in the hood. I was expecting her to have an actual mask. I don't know. I mean, the makeup looks good. Don't get me wrong. I just don't think it would do the job, especially if she has the hood down. The hair looks different, but not enough. I mean, I know there's like that streaks or whatever in her hair and that makeup, but I mean, she's it's pretty discernible who she is. I feel like she should have an actual mask, whether it be a domino style mask or like a full on mask. I feel like those are always better, but I mean, domino masks look kind of cool too, so it's like, and sometimes they can obscure the face enough, like if they have a different kind of structure to it. Like Nia's kind of had like a different, not the shape, but like certain parts stick out a little more than their normal cheekbones or something like that. But they can help a little bit, especially if you don't know the person personally. It's not always easy to tell who they're. The only reason we know who someone is because we've seen their faces enough to really know what they look like even with the mask on. Sometimes it doesn't always work like that, because I mean, sometimes people we know, they'll have a mask on, we won't tell right away. Not all the time, but anyway. But yeah, the suit looked cool, and she's gotten just finally gotten a hang of the Martian arm or whatever it was called. I mean, a freaking giant gun. So that answered my question before. I was wondering like if it has to be a certain maintain the size, but it's like it creates. I don't know Martian tech, but like. I guess it could compact the mass, but it's like because it was a smaller weapon. But then when she was going into the Leviathan the first time, when they began with Supergirl, she had like this big, portable cannon essentially, and that thing makes it like moving around much easier, because like you can have a big huge gun and then it'll just disappear and you can do running around flips and all that stuff. That's really handy. No pun intended. It's really useful. But yeah, it's also I think it came from the hand thing, the suit. Either way, the way it came on was awesome. Kara thought it so too, apparently. For a second, I thought she'd that Eve had actually like killed William. But then when she was shooting him again, because that was with the first shot, I was expecting Carr to come in before he even got shot in the first place. But luckily it was just right here. It went through. Then he had to get cauterized. I thought it was funny. I was like, do it, and then she actually started like lasering his wound. He's like, no, don't do it, don't do it. I mean, that's fair. Pretty realistic. Like, well, I mean, you figured he'd be screaming a little bit more, but I mean, it was still kind of funny. But I'm glad he's fine at least. He's a good guy. He's a really good guy. And then they were able to help Eve as well. And I mean, how long had it been before she had started making that suit? Because I mean, I guess it had been a few hours. So yeah, I'm glad. Luckily, the suit was made in time. So as she had been hit by, I think it was the fire, the suit came in, and basically Tony Stark, flew in and materialized over her, which is great. So I'm wondering if they're gonna be like what they're gonna be doing for when they come back. If she's gonna be in that suit a lot, because with Melissa Benoist being pregnant by the time they come back, well, when they're gonna be filming. Was filming pushed back like into 2021? If that's the case, then she probably would be will have had the baby by then. Yeah, I was just wondering about like when they'd come back, how that would work out. But maybe if they hold off shooting until 2021, then she probably will have had the baby by then. So they won't have to worry about that. Well, I think that's it. Yeah, very sure. It was cool to see. Even though it was it was due to the fact that he was in pain and couldn't maintain the projection of human Brainy. I like seeing that version of Brainy because it's just like it's very accurate to like what his comic book self looks. Obviously, there's different versions, but I just really like what they did with that. So it was cool to see it again, even though it sucks seeing him in pain for so long. But yeah, hopefully they can get to him in time. I really don't want him to be off the show, to be killed off that way. And just to have it kind of be like at the tail end or at the beginning, like kind of not necessarily tacked on, but like coming into the premiere, and then just like this happens, he has to die off at that point. And when if they had planned the finale, it would have not made sense, but you know what I mean. It would have worked a little bit better than if he were to die in the premiere, I think. But I just hope either way, I hope it doesn't happen at all. So hoping they get to him in time. We have to deal with Lex when we come back. So I'm wondering I'm wondering for all the shows that have to cut off early, what that's gonna do for whenever they like their whole season, like what that's gonna entail, how that's gonna work out. Very confusing times. But guys, that is it for this season of Supergirl. Sort of. Hope you enjoyed it. If you want to stick around whenever it comes back, whenever that is, go ahead and click the subscribe button. Again, no Patreon for the time being until everything gets worked out. Everything starts back up again, or we can start back up again. Yeah, guys, thank you very much for sticking around through all this. Really appreciate it. I know things have slowed down a lot, and I really do apologize. But yeah, that's about it. So, see you guys when we see you.